Welcome to a whole new flat world in Unity. I would like to start this section talking about 3D game development in Unity. Unity, born as a 3D game engine, but for many years it has developed a large feature set for developing 3D games, and that made actually Unity a very interesting choice when it comes to creating 3D games. Developing this feature set, Unity has separated the 2D systems from the 3D ones. So some of you might be familiar with the concept of sprites, have a different physics system, so it has 2D specific colliders and rigid bodies. And since now it's one of the biggest selling points in Unity, you will be able to find plenty of resources both on the official website and around internet on how to develop 2D games in Unity. Since there is a large amount of features, we cannot really cover everything in this video course. So we need to focus on something in particular. And of course, we are going to deal with the recent features that has been introduced in Unity in the latest version. So I will assume that you are a little bit familiar with 2D concepts, such as what is a sprite. If you're not, do not worry, you can still follow along with this section, but I would strongly suggest you to have a glance to the official documentation before to move on, because this would greatly benefit you. So in this section we're going to talk about tile map. Tile map is a feature that has been introduced back in Unity 5.6 in a separate build, but has been fully integrated since latest versions of Unity, something around 2017.2. And it is basically an easy interface for building 2D maps within the Unity editor. Before that, you usually use 3D-parter softwares, but TileMap now allows you to create a whole 2D world just within Unity. It allows multi-layer grids. There are so many settings that you can basically meet any demanding needs. It even supports hexagonal grids. And in case you need to extend the system, actually this is fully scriptable. And in particular, tiles and brushes are scriptable, which we will understand better what they are later on. But basically this allows to create very powerful level design tools that even can be specific for your game. And of course, the whole system is really well integrated with the rest of the 2D features set in Unity. We will start with the palette overview, in which we will see how tile map can be used, how to select certain sprites, and how can we use them to paint a level in the scene. Then we will create player movement component. This will allow us to have a playable avatar, so a little hero running around in the world. We won't do anything fancy with animations, just a plain script, because this will mainly help us test some of the 2D features for the rest of the section. Then we will move to colliders and tile map. So we will see how the collider systems can be integrated with tile map, because we don't want our hero to fall through platforms or pass through walls where we're building our levels. So colliders are really important in defining our level, and since tile map builds the level, it's good to have an integration between the two. And then we will go into the most interesting part of tile map, which is scriptable tiles, which again, it's a way for programmer to deliver very powerful custom tools to level designer to help them in their level design process. And then we finally move to scriptable brushes, which is a step further in assisting the level design process. As a bonus, at the end of the section, I'm going to talk also about 2D Cinemachine. Since we spent the last section talking about Cinemachine, the different virtual cameras and how we can move and blend them in different ways, it's nice also to have a quick overview on how we can use the whole system also in 2D as well. So we're going to create a virtual camera and see how it acts in a 2D world. And finally, we'll also experiment some with brushes and tiles, which we are not going to create it, so we're going to take some brushes and tiles already made by someone else, but we're going through it, and so to give you a gist of what this system can really do if used well. So without wasting any more words, let's move into our first video, in which we are going to set up a 2D project. So I would like you to gather some assets for our project. I would like you to follow this link, in which you will be able to download a project which is part of official resources by Unity. In fact, if you follow this link, you will end up in a page like this, which is the Own Cloud by Unity. So click on this download button and you will be able to download the Penny Pixel 2D tile map project. Now, once you have unpacked it, you will have a folder like the following, because I already unzipped. And if we navigate through the assets, here we'll find so many folders. In particular, we want some files contained in the tiles folder and some in the Penny Pixel. So let's go in our Unity hub and create a new project. So let's click new, and we're going to call our new project Dungeon Cave. But this time, in the template, instead to select 3D, we're going to select 2D. And then we're going to click on Create Project. Now that Unity has loaded our project, let's create some folders in our project. We have already a scenes folder, which is great. We need a sample scene. So we need to create a folder, which we're going to call Sprites. Then we need another folder, which we will store all our scripts. So let's type scripts. And then we need also another folder for our palettes. Now, what a palette is will be clear at a later stage in the next video of the course. Now, let's go in our sprites folder, and we need to drag some of the assets we have seen before from the project. So we need to go on the sprites folder and go on tile sets, and in particular we need to drag the jungle tile set. So I'm going to place the window here on this side, and I'm going to drag the jungle tile set into sprites. Still with the folder on the side, I'm going to go on assets, Penny Pixel, and sprites again. And here we have a player sprite sheet, which I'm going to drag again into the sprites folder. Now I'm going to maximize Unity back again, and now that it's full screen, we can explore what we have. If we click on the jungle tile set here in the inspector, we will see that it has been imported as a sprite 2D and UI. That's fine, but since it contains more than one sprite, we need to change the sprite mode from single into multiple, and then click apply. Then if we go on the Sprite Editor, so we open up, here is what the image is. As you can see, we have different tiles and we need to slice them. So if we go up here in the slice menu and type instead of automatic, we are going to divide by cell count. Now if you count this cell, they should be 8 by 8. So I'm going to say 8 columns and 8 rows and click slice. So now all our grid is sliced up nicely. So we're going to click on apply here and close our Sprite Editor. So now if we open up the jungle tile set, we will have different sprites. So if we open up the jungle tile set, here we have all our sprites. So about this player sprite sheet, we need to do something similar. So let's go on this sprite mode, change it to multiple, go on apply, go on the Sprite Editor, and here there is a whole animation of the character. Now we're not going to deal with animations, so we are just going to take the first frame of this animation and we are going to use it as our character. But still, we're going to slice it, so let's count. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and again 8 columns. So I'm going to slice, grid by cell count, 8 columns, 8 rows, and click slice. Alright, so our first sprite, we can rename it just as player, so we can remember, and then click apply. Then we can close our Sprite Editor, and here if we open up, we will have our player sprite, which is perfect for our needs. But this, we're going to use it later in the section.